So apparently we got some pretty big news. I just got a DM about it. That's something that just went up on the website. Um, the this is kind of crazy. So I just need to change my monitor over. I was in game. Look at this. Turbulent and Cloud Imperium. They've now joined each other. So previously it was some deal between the two of them that didn't. It was like Turbulent had a percentage of CIG and CIG had a percentage of Turbulent. And now it's a lot bigger than that, apparently. So we have some very exciting news to share with you all. After more than a decade of fruitful partnership and years working together in the trenches to build something the industry has never seen before, we decided that it was time for CIG and Turbulent to finally and officially join forces. We entered into agreement several months ago, but have now completed the arrangement to merge our companies, with Turbulent formally joining the CIG family this past week. We first met Turbulent CTO Benoit Beaucherzor and CEO Marc Boudreau back in November 2012. We had just launched our crowdfunding campaign and not wanted to be beholden to a Kickstarter, decided to build our own website that would allow us to continue our campaign as well as develop a platform and engage our rapidly growing community. Yes, you don't want to be beholden to do anything. You just want to do whatever you want with no consequences. So, good. Because the rules of the Kickstarter would have meant you had to give money back if you did probably what you were doing right now. As is well known, the initial response to the Star Citizen campaign was beyond any of our expectations, so much so that we quickly built our site couldn't handle the sheer interest of people backing the project. Oh, just like your servers today. 10 years later, we opened a parallel campaign 10 days later on Kickstarter to help ease the demand of our site, but we realized we had seriously underestimated our need for a robust website with a scalable platform better suited to a much larger audience. Luckily, one of our early external development partners in Montreal introduced us to Turbulent. Pretty quickly, we realized that we were working with a talented, agile, and innovative web development company. More than that, we found a group of developers who shared our ambition and vision to disrupt the industry. The agility we needed at the start of this project, and we still need today, didn't phase Turbulent. They innovated solutions and later in our relationship, innovated new technologies, methods, software to support our completely different approach to game development. Whether it was supporting the incredible fluidity of our ecosystem or enabling us to communicate and showcase our developers' progress, features such as our concierge program, issue council, telemetry system, community hub, Galactopedia, roadmap, award-winning star map. If only they made the in-game star map, and Spectrum social network are some of the public-facing elements that Turbulent has built. And behind the scenes, Benoit and his team started to help us publishing features and functions like our launcher. And in more recent times, the team has been a core part of our efforts on cloud services, persistent entity streaming, and server meshing. I mean, let's not ignore, and he's probably going to mention this, let's not ignore the mission that I'm going to right now, Ghost Hollow, a Montreal-based thing, right? So there's a lot of things. With Turbulent as a part of the CIG group of companies, our headcount will be over 1,100, making us one of the largest independent game developers in the world. Is that these numbers don't mean anything if you don't deliver anything, right? I don't care how large you are. Do something. I've been poking you with a stick forever. Do something. And the thing is why this is so special is Montreal has been really good about doing something. And you're not an indie developer. I don't look at CIG as an indie dev anymore. What makes them indie with the way that they operate, the size of their studio, the way that they act, what defines an indie developer? I don't understand what that, what does that even mean at this point? Shoestring budget? No. And literally endless budget that, non-existent budget, right? So there's that. Like, I don't know what indie means in this scenario. I think independent means not owned by Microsoft, I guess, these days. But anyway, while this size and scale has enormous challenges, we're still looking to be disruptive, a disruptive force in gaming, putting our community first and trying to do things differently. Putting our community first is interesting. Way of putting the way they do things some of these days, the way they sell some things, to innovate in all of our business areas and make the best of the freedoms that come with being outside the usual consumer, retailer, publisher, creator paradigm, which stifles innovation and holds the industry back. The only difference is there's no retailer. Like, CIG is the retailer and publisher, but they still act very much like a publisher. Like, we have to push this thing out now. We have this date we have to hit for our big ship sales. They've been much more like a big publisher in the last few years than they've ever been before. I don't look at CIG as a disruptive force anymore. I see them very much doing everything that Blizzard and other companies do. It's very weird. As we approach some of our biggest milestones to date, we've never felt better equipped to realize the unprecedented ambition of Star Citizen Squadron 42, especially now that we have added the firepower, talent, and decade and camaraderie from Turbulent to the fold. Alongside the best community of gamers in the world, CIG is on a unique journey, and the team at Turbulent have been with us every step of the way, sharing our relentless passion for making the best damn game universe ever. Fucking changes every couple years. That phrase changes to something new, so it has no meaning. We could not be happier to welcome them to our family of studios. I mean, this is huge. Montreal is a hotbed for developers. We have Legion, a member of Ubisoft Montreal, who works at that studio, and a lot of people have went from Ubisoft to Turbulent and are creating this studio there. Like, it's funny that they've only talked about this for the last couple months, because it's something that's been going on for a while in terms of the direction they've been going in and making an actual CIG studio at in Montreal at Turbulent. So, yeah, I mean, this is completely unsurprising, but is news worth sharing and is a big deal. I think with the quality that we've seen the Montreal studio do in such little time is actually incredibly exciting, and I think that's why this is news. Is anything that makes this bond stronger is better for all of us, because I think CIG's like studios and development has suffered from its growing pains at the very beginning all throughout now, and the Montreal team seems to have learned from all those mistakes, or is just doing things better, where they have everything that they work on is in-house. They have their own artists, they have their own QA, they have their own coders, they have everything. Whereas you always hear the other people at like the UK studio asking for help. They need other teams to do work for them, where Montreal seems to have it all insular for everything that they're doing. And that's why they've been able to do a lot more with what little they have, I think, which has been really great. So that's crazy. That's really cool. And yeah, welcome, I guess. I don't know if we'll hear the terms of the agreements or whatever, and how much backer money it costs to make that happen. But I think overall it'll be a positive result for us. So that's sick. Nice. Actually really big deal.